I really don't team up anymore. Managing people, such a headache.
Fatality.
Hello, welcome back to another episode. The traumatic Season 5 conclusion of Rick and Morty, which witnessed the destruction of the Citadel, is immediately followed by the Season 6 premiere. In the episode Solarix, Rick faces a well-known obstacle, but things take an unexpected turn when the brilliant scientist's troubled history interferes with the task. As a result, Rick needs to figure out a way to reunite with his family. Here is all the information you need to know about the conclusion of Rick and Morty Season 6 Episode 1 if you're curious about what happened in the newest journey of the beloved grandfather-grandson combo. Watch out, spoilers ahead. President Morty has just escaped beyond the central finite curve as Rick and Morty Season 6 Episode 1, Solarix, begins. With little chance of escaping their impending catastrophe, Rick and Morty find themselves trapped in the shattered Citadel. But Space Beth saves them and takes them back home. Rick tries to give the portal fluid mechanics a break after understanding that President Morty's actions have rendered portal travel impossible. However, he accidentally resets the portal traveler's settings, causing Rick, Morty, and Jerry to return to their dimensions of origin. Rick gives Summer instructions on how to return to the C-131 dimension before disappearing. After Rick, Morty, and Jerry disappear, Summer starts the protocol and asks Beth and Space Beth to join her to save the family. Space Beth reluctantly agrees and teams up with Summer and Beth. Meanwhile, Rick returns to the C-137 dimension, where he is tormented by an AI designed after his deceased wife, Diane. In the process, Rick is reminded of his enmity with Cronenberg Dimension Rick, the man who killed Rick's family. Since Morty is from the Cronenberg Dimension, Rick is forced to travel to the doomed reality. In the Cronenberg Dimension, Morty reunites with Jerry, who reveals that Summer and Beth are dead in this reality. After some bonding time, Jerry tricks Morty and flees with his belongings. Rick will soon be guided through the multiverse by a beacon that Summer and her friends will soon light. Beth and Space Beth, however, compete for Summer's love. Rick meets up with Morty once he enters the Cronenberg Dimension. However, with Morty's assistance, Rick regains his composure after becoming obsessed with getting right with Cronenberg Rick. As a result, Rick is compelled to admit that he entered the Cronenberg Dimension with the hope that one day Cronenberg Rick would visit his family, giving him the opportunity to exact retribution. Rick's scheme is useless, though, since Cronenberg reveals that Rick doesn't care about his family. In the end, Rick chooses to go back to the C-131 realm in the hopes of starting again with his gathered family. Rick and Morty Season 6 Episode 1 ending. Do Rick and Morty return to Dimension C-131? A stylish confirmation of Rick's terrible history and relationship with Cronenberg Rick can be found in the 6th season episode. As a result, Rick decides to give up his need for vengeance and thus begins his act of letting go. Since their previous realm was destroyed, Rick eventually goes back to the Smith family's residence in Dimension C-131. Furthermore, even though the characters Beth, Jerry, and Summer come from different dimensions, the dimension has allowed them to develop independently while also bringing them closer to Rick and Morty. Towards the end of the episode, Rick and Morty retrieve Jerry from his original dimension and bring him back to C-131. But they run into Jerry from that universe, still alive and bearing Mr. Frumbles, an adorable little alien parasite. Jerry mistakenly sets the creature loose, and it then begins to eat reality. The Smith family is forced to relocate once more to a new dimension when an alien parasite quickly takes over the whole planet. In the end, the Smith family, headed by Rick, moves to another reality where their ostensibly artificial counterparts actually die. Therefore, the Smiths bury their doppelgangers in the backyard and make a fresh start. Rick promises to improve the portal transportation system, though. The episode essentially reboots the Smith family's reality but also confirms that Rick C-137 is still dealing with the death of his wife and daughter. Moreover, Morty's learning that Rick is not his original grandfather might stir up some disturbing feelings within the teenager down the road. However, for now, the Smith family is all in one piece and safely resuming life in a new dimension. Hence, it is safe to say that Dimension C-131 is effectively destroyed. A post-credit scene reveals Cronenberg's Rick meeting that dimension's Jerry and killing him after the latter proposes a team-up. Therefore, it is evident that Cronenberg Rick is certainly up to no good and could end up targeting the Smiths. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.